Welcome to Arizona and spring training. It is right around the corner. I'm Brad Cesmat. On this week's episode, as always, we're going to show you where to eat, where to stay, where to play golf, where to hang out, talk some baseball, and have some fun. Chris Mad Dog Russo, Doggy, is going to be with us on this week's episode. Talk about the teams out here in the Cactus League in Arizona. Here at Trophy, Tim Hovick, the owner, he's going to show us around and give us a tour, the Trophy Bar, sports, cars, and spirits, some fun with Tim. On the Rocks, every week we show you where to go out and hike around Arizona and much, much more. That's all straight ahead. What do you look forward to most, Mad Dog, when you come to a spring training facility, whether it be in Florida or in Arizona? A guy in your space, you do high heat on MLB Network, you do a lot of national stuff. What is it for somebody like you when number 99 is throwing to number 77? They're not going to be part of the deal. So, Chris, what do you take from spring?
The idea of what spring training is always all about, hope springs eternal. Everybody's in a pretty good mood. Availability is there. You can get all the managers on radio. You can get the general managers on. Nobody's lost 5 straight yet.
Yeah.
Nobody's 10 games out on May 1st. So from that perspective, everybody's, pretty hepped up. They're first thing in the morning. They're not tired of baseball. Physically, they feel good. The spirits are up. Even the Rockies, for instance, would be, somewhat optimistic. I think just a good feeling that a new season is upon us. Spring training, football in July and August, although football, there's a physicality aspect to it that teams hate training camp, players do. But the NBA, the basketball too, there's always a good sense that, hey, a new season, anything can happen. We got a chance. Why not feel optimistic? Those kinds of things. And it rubs off on the folks who cover it. So I think the idea that it's the start of a new year that goes a long way. And I think everybody feels pretty good. And with baseball, the 14 teams, 7 teams, or 12 teams, each team having a chance to make the playoffs. You don't need to win 95 games necessarily. Arizona last year won 84. I think that all plays into it.
Mad Dog Russo, Hall of Famer, with us for a few minutes. High heat, MLB Network, Sirius XM, all over the place. It's a pleasure to catch up with the Hall of Famer. I want to turn over to the on the field. Do you think the Rangers and Diamondbacks, Chris, I'm not going to put you on the spot like on the Stern Show where you're going to run around with a bikini if those two teams meet again in the World Series. But as we sit here today looking at spring into the season, off season's complete, there's no way you can pick against the Dodgers. Is there, Mad Dog?
No way. Not in a regular season. You can't pick against the Dodgers. We all know postseason's a crapshoot. I think at the end of the day, Texas will sign Jordan Montgomery. Had to get that RSN thing straightened out. Maybe that Amazon buying help there. I think Arizona is going to be pretty good. I was a great signing with Rodriguez. He pitched well. They learned and they found some pitching. Foth did a good job. You got Gallen sitting there, Merrill Kelly, young players, some experience. I think Arizona will have a good season again. I think Texas will have a good season. Crapshoot-wise, postseason, who knows? Regular season-wise, the Dodgers are going to win 105 games. I mean, you can write there's no race in the NL West. I mean, the Dodgers just have too much talent. Teoscar Hernandez is going to help them. Yamamoto, we know about Ohtani. They're going to win 105. The regular season, as far as winning the division, there's no race. It's going to be a bore. But once you get to the postseason, that's the great beauty of baseball. It's a crapshoot. And Dodgers can lose 3 games to anybody. So I'm not sure about where we stand with LA in the postseason. Regular season-wise, the rest of the NL in the West, Giants, Padres, Diamondbacks, they're playing for a wild card spot. But I think the Diamondbacks got a hell of a chance to win a wild card spot. I mean, they got this is a pretty good team. And, they should win upper of 88 games, 89 games. So they should make the playoffs. They got a hell of a chance to make it as a wild card. But you have to assume as the season begins, Braves and Dodgers, the NL Central's a crapshoot, but the Braves and Dodgers should win their respective divisions, which then means that Philadelphia, Arizona, maybe the Giants, maybe San Diego are going to fight for wild card spots in the National League.
What do you make out of the managerial changes? We're talking Cactus League and just a couple of them. Craig Counsell goes from Milwaukee to the Cubs. You've got Bomel going from San Diego up to the Giants. Those two teams in particular, I know you said the Giants are in the West, no shot in terms of the division title. Maybe wild card, maybe not. Counsell, Melvin.
Listen, I think Counsell will help. First off, I didn't think Ross deserved to be fired. Ross did a good job with the Cubs. I mean, so I'm not sure exactly where Counsell is going to make the Cubs a lot better on the field. I think Counsell's a good manager, but let's also remember that Counsell's 1-9 in his last 10 playoff games. So again, he lost to 3 straight to Arizona. He lost 3 out of 4 to Atlanta. I mean, Counsell is yet to prove that he's a big time. Now, he's a good manager, but he hasn't won in the postseason either. So and Ross, to me, got a raw deal. Counsell is a better manager than Ross, track record wise, but I don't know where he makes the Cubs a lot better. Melvin, I thought Kapler got a raw deal too. You can't sit there and tell me that the Giants were a big time roster oriented team. Zaidi got a break. I mean, hold on now. I mean, where is that roster so much better that he had to fire Kapler? He should have gone out the door with Kapler too. Now, Melvin's probably a better, and I like Bob, and he's a better manager than Kapler. So it's funny. Both GMs fired their existing managers to bring in better managers. But I don't know if Zaidi deserved to stay. And I'm not sure if Ross deserved to be fired for Counsell, who has not shown that he can win in postseason yet. Never been to a World Series. Lost to the Dodgers twice. Lost to Washington. Lost to Atlanta. Terrible loss to Arizona. So I'm not exactly sure, just because being Counsell and you can win a lot. And Farhan deserved to go just as much as Kapler did. If you wanted to fire Kapler, how does Zaidi stay? I don't understand. I mean, he put the roster together, and the roster stinks. And they can't bring a big free agent in, and giving Hicks $44 million, I don't think that's the answer. Robbie Ray's not going to be available until the middle of the summer, so I'm not sure if that's the answer. And the kid they signed from Japan, he's sort of like a Nimmo, and they gave him $113 million. So the Giants can't get anybody to take their money, is what it comes down to. So I'm not sure if either one of those teams, Cubs or Giants, are going to be that much better. The Giants would definitely have problems because they got the Dodgers in the division. The NL Central is wide open because those teams aren't very good, so the Cubs have a chance. But, again, Dodgers and Braves, Phillies, Diamondbacks 4, those are your 4 teams in the National League as we stand right now.
I appreciate your time and insights, Chris. Thanks. Let's go off that.
Great job. Thanks for having me. Appreciate coming on here today.
If you've not visited a Cactus League game, it's a terrific experience because you get so up close and so personal with the players. It doesn't really matter which ballpark. Yeah, some are a little bit better than others. But by and large, taking a family, taking your buddies out to watch spring training, it is a rite of Arizona passage. Add to that, we got golf courses. We've got golf courses all over our state, well over 200 courses. You bring out your sticks, it doesn't matter the skill level. We're showing you some places to go throughout the next 10 weeks of here's a golf course over here, here's one on this side of the valley. They're all conveniently located. So think about it. You're coming out with your friends, your family, your buddies, whatever it may be. Access at Cactus League games, and then make sure that you make the time and book the tee times and play some great Arizona golf. It's a terrific time of year to do it here in Arizona.
It's spring, so come for the games and have a ball in Arizona. Ready to go big? Plan your getaway today.
The Valley of the Sun will roar to life this spring.
This ought to get pretty wild here.
Why is that, you may ask? Because NASCAR is coming to Phoenix, and it's going to be a weekend of good vibes the whole family won't forget. The best-in-class fan experience meets racing's toughest drivers for 3 days of action on and off the track, all surrounded by the beautiful Estrella Mountains.
Oh yeah, baby! Let's go!
Get your tickets now at PhoenixRaceway.com.
You will never see anything else like this in the world. Discover more Play for All at Harrah's Auction Casino.
Hi, folks. Here are your drinks.
Where having fun means racking up reward credits with the Caesars Rewards loyalty program that can be redeemed for food, free play, hotel stays, and more. Not only here in the city of Maricopa, but also at more than 50 Caesars properties coast to coast. From Harrah's Las Vegas to Caesars Palace in Atlantic City. What are you waiting for? Play for All at Harrah's Auction Casino, the official sponsor of Play.
Looking for sunshine, saguaros, solitude? Discover Marana, Arizona. A quick drive down I-10. Close to everything, far from ordinary. Discover Marana. Let's talk about Venezia's Pizzeria. New York-style pizza. Oh man, this looks so good. Pizza doughs made fresh daily, wings, subs, sandwiches, pasta. They cater, they deliver. They have 5 Valley locations. Venezia's New York-style Pizzeria.
We're just a few weeks away from Cactus League baseball starting in the 2024 season. I'm Jordan Spurgeon, and one thing you should know, we're with one Hall of Famer who's being inducted this year. We'll get to him in just a minute, but there are 5 going into the Cactus League Hall of Fame as well this year, starting with Bruce Bochy, most recently World Series champion with the Texas Rangers, has been around for a while, one of the greatest managers in the game of baseball. You've got Don Carson, Rick Monday, Ron Santo, and with me now, Steve Vucinich. And Steve, when you hear those names and you notice that your 54 years of work with the Oakland A's as the equipment manager has led you to a position like this, recognition like that, what goes through your head?
You know, I wonder if I'm deserving. It's not just the tenure, but it's the job that I did for over the years and the contacts I've made. But to be in any kind of Hall of Fame is special. I am an ordinary person given an extraordinary opportunity.
When did it all start for you?
It started in 1968. The A's had moved out from Kansas City. They hired 5 bat boys. As a coincidence, I knew 4 of the 5. The one I didn't know quit after opening day. All those other guys said, hey, come on down, maybe you can get the job. I was working as a peanut vendor at the time. So I went down and talked to the equipment manager who had come out from Kansas City, and Joe DiMaggio was one of the A's coaches that year. And he said, hey, kid, what school you go to? I said, I go to St. Joe's in Alameda. He says, hey, Al, he's a Catholic, hire him. Now, it's a great story. It's a true story, and I would have got the job anyway. But my favorite moment of all was probably winning the 72 World Series against Cincinnati, playing 3 of the 4 games in Cincinnati. It was the hairs versus squares. I had shoulder-length hair there. Everybody had long hair, and the Cincinnati Reds were short hair, clean cut, couldn't even put like Adidas stripes on their shoes. They were in that much control, and we beat them. They had Hall of Famers like we did, and that's my favorite moment.
What do you think the Cactus League, not only has meant to you, but just in general around baseball?
Well, the whole area has grown on me, and I started working down here at the old Rendezvous Park, downtown Mesa in 1971. They moved there in 69, but I came down in 71 and see the Cactus League grow. I mean, there were 7 teams there, but 1 was in Yuma and 1 was in Palm Springs, the Angels. So there's really only 5 in the area, so you played each other a lot more often. But I've had a great affliction and feeling for the Cactus League. I've been a part of their history and have corrected people on mistakes they've made on the Cactus League.
So one thing that I've always been drawn to when I see the A's, I've always loved just how many different uniforms that they've tried. And I'm guessing, and you can clear it up if not, you've had a lot of say in some of that stuff, or in the way that it'd be presented at least, right?
Yes, I've been fortunate because a lot of the equipment managers throughout baseball had no clue what they were going to wear the next year until they saw it on paper. Mm-hmm. Where the people, and I think it's because of my tenure, the people have asked me, what do you think of this? we went from Kelly green to get away from the Charlie Finley thing in the early 80s to a darker green. And our president and part owner and our general manager, Sandy Alderson, all went to Dartmouth, so I called it Dartmouth green. It was much darker.
March 15th, that's the date, correct,
That's
that
the
you will
date
be
here
getting
versus
honored
the
here?
Giants.
You excited for that?
I am, and I kind of got to choose a date if it worked with everybody. And I did it because Bob Melvin is now with the Giants. And when he was here his last year, which was also my last year, he gave me no ration of BS about how many interviews I was doing as I went across the country. And I want to see him over in that third base dugout just shaking his head one more time.
So there you go. Come out to the game. Watch Steve. Take a peek over at Bob Melvin. See him shake his head. It's going to be a good time. Steve, appreciate it. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
1 of 5 heading into the Cactus League Hall of Fame in 2024. We appreciate your time, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Hey, welcome to Trophies. Let me show you around a little bit.
So when you're done with the game, or even before the game, this is Tim's place. This is Tim Hovick, and this is Trophy Bar. This is your spot.
Yes, this is my spot. I'm pretty sure this is a happy group. It must be happy hour.
So how'd this all come together?
You know, I checked about every box that you can check about all the things you shouldn't do. And they always said the last thing you should do is open a sports bar. So I figured we better do it. So we did. Now the real magic happens behind back here. This is where we get the real stuff going on.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. What do you make to warm people up around here? Like a spicy jalapeno margarita? You want to make one? Can you make one?
Sure.
Notice, in order to have a jalapeno margarita, we're starting with jalapenos.
That's right.
What was the idea behind Trophy?
I mean, if you're in sports or you're in life, I'm pretty sure, don't you want to get a trophy?
Yeah.
And we're not talking participation trophies. We're talking let's win trophy. The elixir of life, tequila.
Agave?
Oh, the syrup. Can I drink it? Oh, wait, we got it.
wait.
Oh, it's not ready yet. Oh, wait. I was a little ahead of myself here. Woo! I usually don't drink, but I'm making an exception today.
It's going to be a little spicy.
Ah! No, just kidding. Just kidding. Wow, is that good? Huh? Cheers.
Cheers.
So when you come out here and you're at your games or you're thinking of the spot, obviously there's the TVs, we've got the trophies, got a great bar where you can hang out outside and inside. When it comes to food, Tim, what did you want to accomplish here?
Well, we wanted it to be maybe one notch above sort of, you know, grandma's or grandpa's sports bar. The greatest pizza in the history of pizzas. I mean, it's unbelievable. And it all starts with the wood-fired pizza oven. Stop on by. I think you will love the menu. I mean, look at that baby back there. Woo!
That's a beautiful sight, isn't it?
The fact that we're so kind of centrally located in the valley and easy to get to, with spring training rocking and rolling, I suspect if you need to do some training, spend some of your spring in here.
Here we go.
Woo! Right out of the wood-fired oven.
There we go. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, you cut it. Last time I cut it, they called me Nine Fingers Tim. Well, I mean, it goes together, right? I'm a car guy. I'm a Ford dealer, proud Ford dealer. And here we are. We've got a great sports pub, so Trophies. Come visit.
When you're in the valley, it is Trophies. Make sure you put it down. Trophies, it's in Chandler, south part of the valley. It's easy to get to. Place where you're done with your golf, in between days of games, this is the spot.
The Valley of the Sun will roar to life this spring.
This ought to get pretty wild here.
Why is that, you may ask? Because NASCAR is coming to Phoenix, and it's going to be a weekend of good vibes the whole family won't forget. The best-in-class fan experience meets racing's toughest drivers for 3 days of action on and off the track, all surrounded by the beautiful Estrella Mountains.
Oh yeah, baby! Let's go!
Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
It's spring, so come for the games and have a ball in Arizona. Ready to go big? Plan your getaway today.
Bienvenidos.
Here in the heart of the American Southwest, you'll find 3 well-known restaurants all named Valle Luna, serving the finest Sonoran-style Mexican food known across the country and beyond. And we're open for business, so come on in. We've fired up the grill and iced down the refreshments and even added some specialties along the way.
Thanks for coming.
Hello. Greetings.
Welcome back.
No matter where you're from or how you say it, at Valle Luna, you're always welcome, and we're glad to have you back.
Visit us at Harrah's Auction Casino in the city of Maricopa, where you'll find play for all and friendly people ready to welcome you like family.
Welcome back, you two.
As the official sponsor of Play and the only casino in Arizona with Caesars Rewards, see what a difference it makes to play where your fun is our top priority. Harrah's Auction Casino. Play for all.
Hey everyone, welcome to On the Rocks. I'm your trail guide, Claudia Collins, and I'm taking you along for my adventures as I check hikes, waterfalls, and other outdoor activities off of my Arizona bucket list. Thanks to Desert Financial Credit Union, today we're hiking the Devil's Bridge in Sedona. Devil's Bridge Trail is 3.9 miles long with 521 feet of elevation gain, and it's rated moderate. Devil's Bridge is easily one of Sedona's most popular, if not the most popular hike. That's because there's an awesome bridge at the end that makes for awesome photo ops, but the Red Rock views are pretty much unmatched. So let's go check it out. If you're not lucky enough to get one of the very few spots at the car park at the trailhead, you'll need to be prepared to add another half mile to mile to your hike. If no spots are available, you want to take a right out of the trailhead and look for street parking down the road. I've never been able to easily snag a spot in the lot, so don't be discouraged if you don't either. The first portion of the hike is on a large open road that allows ATV and high clearance vehicle access. Although this isn't a typical trail, it had all of the typical Sedona Red Rock views you could hope for, and everything was still very much in bloom. The All Trails app is actually really useful on this hike to look for the sign to head towards Devil's Bridge. I want to add that we got an early start to beat the heat. We hit the trail at about 8:30 a.m. and although it was cool when we started, it was hot when we finished hiking. This is probably the longest I've gone without a visit to Sedona. I'd encourage anyone in the valley to try making it a day trip. I love to drive up in the morning, go on a beautiful hike, grab lunch, and hang out by Oak Creek. And my favorite part of a Sedona road trip is stopping for pie on the way home. You can get some of the most delicious pie at the Rock Springs Cafe in Black Canyon City. Then you get to sleep in your own bed at night. Are you sold yet? Because if not, I think these views and maybe some strawberry rhubarb pie will do the trick. The last quarter to half mile of the hike is where all of the elevation gain comes in. One nice perk of this trail though is that if you go earlier in the day, you can find a lot of shade. Later in the day, it's a little harder to come by. As you climb, there's also a lot of different areas for some beautiful photo opportunities. We definitely took advantage of the shade and took some pictures of our pups. And yeah, back to that elevation gain, I have to say there's some areas with some solid scrambling. I noticed that it was a little outside of some hikers' comfort level, but remember to stick to your own limitations. And after one last scramble, we made it to Devil's Bridge. It took a little bit over an hour to get to the bridge. Been here a few times, so for me it's not worth waiting in line for 30 minutes for a photo, but it is a really cool photo op. Awesome background. You can see the bridge here and the line over in that direction.
If you were expecting something different, you've probably noticed by now that Devil's Bridge is a natural bridge, and it is quite spectacular, but in my opinion, not worth fighting through the heat for 40 minutes to snag a picture. Although I have gotten one in the past. This trail has gotten really popular over the years. If you're able to, the earlier you hike, the shorter wait you'll have if you want a photo on the bridge. But despite the crowds at the end of the hike, we had a lot of fun, and I didn't feel like I missed out one bit.
From where we parked on the road, I tracked 4.68 miles, and we finished the hike in 2.5 hours. I'd say it's really reasonable to finish between 2 and 3 hours. Probably closer to 3 hours if you wait for a picture, but if it's your first time, I'd say it's worth it. Hit up Devil's Bridge when you go to Sedona.
Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time on The Rocks.
Well, we've had a lot of fun on this week's episode. Cannot wait for the start of spring training games. It gets going on February 22nd, right around the corner. But make your plans to come on out here. And that's our show for this week. Thanks again for being with us. For all of us, make it a great, safe week.
It's spring, so come for the games and have a ball in Arizona. Ready to go big? Plan your getaway today.
Bienvenidos. Here in the heart of the American Southwest, you'll find 3 well-known restaurants all named Valle Luna, serving the finest Sonoran-style Mexican food known across the country and beyond. And we're open for business, so come on in. We've fired up the grill and iced down the refreshments and even added some specialties along the way.
Thanks for coming.
Hello. Greetings.
Welcome back. No matter where you're from or how you say it, at Valle Luna, you're always welcome, and we're glad to have you back.
The Valley of the Sun will roar to life this spring. Why is that, you may ask? Because NASCAR is coming to Phoenix, and it's going to be a weekend of good vibes the whole family won't forget. Get your tickets now at PhoenixRaceway.com.
Visit us at Harrah's Auction Casino in the city of Maricopa, where you'll find friendly people ready to welcome you like family. As the only casino in Arizona with Caesars Rewards, play where your fun is our top priority. Harrah's Auction Casino. Play for all.